Hi, it's Kim Darwaza here, your Northern Virginia realtor, and today we're going to talk about co-ops. We just took a new co-op listing in Burke, and there's not many co-ops around here. Most of the co-ops you see are in Manhattan. It's one of the few co-ops we have here, so we wanted to let everyone know what it is and what the advantages of buying a co-op are. So I'm here with Chris Bramhall, who's one of my buyer partners on my team. It's actually his listing. He secured the listing. Good job, Chris. So Chris, first, why don't you tell us about the listing? Tell us, give us information on
Sure.
where it is and all that.
It's located in Burke, Virginia. It's 10310 Luria Commons, Unit I. We have it listed for $154,900. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in Fairfax County. Approximately 850 square feet.
Right. So it's a really great value for $154,900. I mean, you don't see a 3-bedroom here for that amount of money.
Not in Fairfax County
Yeah.
with a Robinson Pyramid.
I know. Normally that's more of a $250,000 situation. So yeah, so that's one of the first advantages of buying a co-op. Now, the difference between a co-op and a condo is a condo you sort of own, and then a co-op you actually own a share in the corporation that owns the co-op, and when you sell it, you're technically selling your share in the co-op. So let's talk about how a mortgage works on a co-op, because it's slightly different from a condo.
Sure. We have with a co-op mortgage, you actually have two mortgages. One is secured by the actual co-op association. So when you have a listing price, which we have a listing price of $154,900, $30,000 of that roughly is part of the second mortgage. That money comes out of a monthly payment. Actually, for the 3-bedroom, it's $816 a month. Roughly $400 of that goes to the second mortgage. The rest of it is your typical condo fees, maintenance, shared utilities, etc. Your first mortgage has to come through either PNC or BB&T because they specialize in shared mortgages that deal with co-ops.
Yeah, so basically it's sort of similar to a situation when you're doing new construction. You usually get a construction to perm loan, and there's only certain banks like Cardinal Bank that really deals with that. So it's a similar situation where there's only certain banks that will give these type of loans because they're different. And the 8-6, I think that's the thing is with condo fees, they're usually like $150, $200, $300 a month max for a condo like that size. And the reason why it's so much higher, that's one of the questions we get, why is it so high, is because you're actually paying part of the mortgage. So that's the reason for that. Now, one of the other questions that we get asked is, so when you do have to be approved for the whole $154,900, and it sort of works like a regular condo where you have to make a down payment, usually of a minimum of 3.5%. Now, there's a little bit of difference. Like normally when you just get a loan for a condo, they just check your credit. But for a co-op, there's a co-op board involved. And so there's some extra steps. Chris, you want to explain that?
Yeah. So after you get approved and say everything's gone through, the sellers have approved the offer, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. The entire offer goes in front of the board of directors for the condo association, and from there you're going to have your credit checked again from an outside company, and plus there's going to be a criminal background check. Which is kind of nice because you live in a very safe community. You're not going to have problems with
Registered sex
offenders because
Yeah.
they won't be allowed in because you have to have a clear criminal background check.
And it's not quite as stringent as the ones in Manhattan where, there's buildings where they didn't want Mariah Carey and Madonna living in them because they didn't want them having parties and stuff like that. It's not crazy like that. But they just want to make sure that you have the money to maintain the property. They don't want to get in the situation like with all the foreclosures and all that stuff that went on where people couldn't pay the fees.
Correct.
And they just don't want any criminal activity going on. So that's what they're checking for that. So hi Pam, hi Basima, thanks for joining. Glad you guys are watching. Okay, so let's talk about, so originally the co-op loan, which is the the 30,000 or the $816 a month that you're kind of chipping away at, was $4 million. And now it's down to roughly $2 million. And the building's been there for about 30 years. So it's taken, hey Jean. So one of the big questions we get from a lot of people who want to make offers is, what happens when that thing is paid off? And the answer to that is
a couple things. They could pull money out and they have to refinance again. They could let it go all the way down and have a zero balance and decide from there. They could refinance. So with 13, 14 years left on the mortgage loan, it's really tough to say exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely through this process, since the building was built in 1985, I mean, they've definitely probably had to cash out to replace roofs and exterior building maintenance and so on and so forth. And
there's a good chance they'll refinance.
Yeah, so there's probably a really good chance. So I don't think you're ever going to be off the hook for that, to be honest with you. So, okay, so that's that. And then another thing is, I think a question we get is like, do these things actually appreciate? So we basically went back about 6 years just to kind of see what some of the sales prices were for the 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom units. And I saw a sales price of $117 and I saw one of $127, and these were like 3 to 5 years ago. So there's definitely been some appreciation in the last 6 years. So it does appreciate. I think that's a concern for a lot of people. And then, so the main advantage, I think, is for someone who wants to own a property, doesn't want to have to rent, doesn't want to have to worry about picking up and moving if the landlord decides to sell the property or whatever, and they just want to be able to make it their own. They want to make the kitchen the way they want it. You know, it's like any house. You can update your kitchen the way you want it. You can update your bathroom. You can put whatever carpet. You can paint the walls. So you're basically owning a property for a fraction of what a condo would be. So I think that's really, really great for a person who just doesn't make a lot of money and wants to own a property and have a place that's their own. So is there anything else, Chris, that you wanted to add?
Again, 3-bedroom, 1-bath in Burke, Virginia, Robinson Pyramid.
And it's on my website, www.kimdarwaza.com. There's a virtual tour, so you can see all the beautiful photos of the property online. So hit us up on email. It's either Chris or Kim, whichever one of us you want to email, at kimdarwaza.com. Or you can give us a call. My number is 703-856-2254. And Chris, what's your number?
703-624-8844.
Yeah, and just kimdarwaza.com is the website for additional information. Thanks for watching,
Great, thanks.
and we hope to see you soon.
Take care.